Coming up, we show you the fire in Yankton that sent one person to the hospital.
Plus, how you can help officials in Cottington County find 2 escaped bulls following a crash. Good morning, this is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
One person was hurt during a truck fire in Yankton Wednesday night.
Shortly after 7, crews with the Yankton Fire Department were called to the 3700 block of West 8th Street for reports of a vehicle on fire. In these pictures, you can see the fire spread to a camper the vehicle was pulling. Firefighters arrived on scene and put the fire out. One person was taken to the hospital. The cause of the fire is under investigation. One person was taken to the hospital Wednesday evening following a fire in north central Sioux Falls.
Shortly after 8 o'clock, Sioux Falls Fire Rescue was called to a home in the 900 block of North Spring Avenue for reports of a fire. First report said the fire was coming from the back of the home and that there was a person on the roof. Crews arrived on the scene and found the fire coming from the home and the person who was on the roof in the front yard. They had suffered injuries and were taken to a local hospital. The fire was contained to one room in the home and spread outside. Crews had it knocked down within 15 minutes. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Authorities in Cottington County are asking for the public's help finding 2 bulls after a crash south of Watertown.
On Wednesday, deputies with Cottington County Sheriff's Office responded to the area of Highway 81 and 176th Street for a rollover crash. The driver was thrown from the vehicle. He was taken to Prairie Lakes Hospital to be treated for his injuries. 2 bulls inside the trailer escaped. If you see the animals, you are asked to call the Cottington County Sheriff's Office. Turning to weather now, our temps are heating up as we move towards the weekend.
Let's find out how it could be getting with meteorologist Scott Munt. Good morning, Scott.
All right, good morning, everybody. We are looking at mostly sunny skies, dry conditions, probably for the next several days. Even a chance to set some records by the time we do get into Sunday, the 4th of July, as we may see widespread 100-degree heat into central South Dakota. So hot and dry through this coming weekend. Easily into the 90s in many locations, remaining hot next week with temperatures in the 90s, possibly in the 100s from time to time. More details on your KELOLAND Live Doppler forecast with Brian coming up.
All right, thank you very much, Scott. Ale Hops Brewery Tours is a unique way to sample Sioux Falls brewery scene. Jason Schlechter.
He bought and spruced up a 2002 Volkswagen van and turned it into a tour van. He gives patrons tours of the local brewery scene. He also goes into fun facts and history. He was inspired by a tour he and his wife took in New York. That tour visited local wineries.
We ended up spending the day with a couple other gals from the UK and just had a great time. And the whole time I was thinking to myself, this is something I could do in Sioux Falls and just change the model to be more brewery-centric.
He visits up to 8 local breweries, and he can fit up to 6 people in the van at a time.
Starting today, teenage drivers in South Dakota will have to follow some new restrictions. Those who did not upgrade to a restricted permit last month must now drive on an instruction permit for 180 days with driver's ed or on 275 days for those who have not taken driver's ed.
Those with restricted permits who did not upgrade to an operator license must now hold a restricted permit for 6 months and cannot have any passengers who are not immediate family. To see more information on the changes being made, you can find this KELOLAND.com original on our website now. With medical marijuana now legal in South Dakota, there's a lot of confusion on how the law will be enforced.
Wednesday, the governor's office announced the South Dakota Highway Patrol has a new plan on how to enforce the new law, and that the governor is suggesting other agencies follow its lead. State's attorneys recommend you still read the law.
Make sure that they're familiar with those restrictions that the voters put on medical cannabis, medical marijuana, and just make sure that they're complying with all of those laws as well as the rules that the Department of Health formulates.
The state released a preliminary list of conditions that will qualify for medical marijuana. So far, that list includes seizures, cancer, and MS. The state health department is expected to add other conditions as people apply for medical marijuana cards.
And that's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your forecast with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Good morning, Brian.
All right, good morning, guys. Good morning, everybody. New drought monitor is being released this morning. This is the old version, but still showing the severe drought in dark orange. And the red areas where extreme drought is located, and again, we'll be looking at those continuing conditions into July. There's really nothing that's going to help this in the short term. Here's our forecast, at least some things and elements to think about going into the holiday weekend. You notice temperatures into the 90s here on Friday. This is a sampling off the European model, but it's in good agreement with the others. And the dew point in green. See how low that number is in the 40s and 50s? That means it's a relatively dry heat this time around. And we've had that, that's how the June cycle started that way too. Remember how we were just exceptionally hot the first couple of weeks of the month. And I think right now to Saturday, it's safe to say we're going to have a couple of 100s. Whether or not Aberdeen hits 100, could hit that number there on Saturday. If we don't do it Saturday, probably looking at Sunday. The 4th of July, the hottest weather is coming in, and it could easily be at 105, 106 in a few spots, and relative humidity that afternoon could be between 10 and 20%. So it's a tough forecast. I know many of you will be watching that, and of course, fireworks celebrations, kind of spread out over the weekend. So any one of those days is hot. And take my advice, make sure you're drinking a lot of water and stay hydrated. Will we get any rain in that 7-day? Well, there's a chance early next week. We have a couple of systems trying to break down the ridge a little bit. That's going to be very critical for a few spots to pick up some rain to kind of link to what you might have had last week. If you got rain last week, well, then you're really anticipating that next chance next week. Tuesday's probably our best shot. There are opportunities in Sioux Falls that may not occur in Aberdeen or Pierre, but we do want to at least put that 30% in there for Tuesday and Pierre right now. Hopefully that trough will come in a little bit stronger, but we always are careful about that in a drought year, that these things can and often do end up coming in a little less. The numbers in Rapid City, too, are hot 100 on the 4th of July. Check out more details online at KELOLAND.com.